I was out in the middle of a test drive, pulled over to this parking lot here to do a walk around video on our 1965 Fastback Mustang. This one here has the AC compressor under the hood. It does work. No power steering, 289 under the hood. That's a decent looking car, but I'm gonna be looking for chips, scratches, Bondo, any rust, anything I see, so you know what you're buying before you get here. This one had a nice mat in the back, and I took it out because it was wet. So the trunk actually leaks, and it's probably coming from the back window here. The seal around the trunk looks good. Shouldn't be leaking there. We'll be checking that out. Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. I post videos like this daily. We look for flaws here. You can see the good. Let me tell you what's wrong with the car. That way you know before you get here. MapleMotors.com is my main website. I'll show you that multiple times on here, and it does offer financing, shipping. There's even a frequently asked questions section I want you to check out. And that's enough of that. Let's get started here. Looking for the flaws. Coming around the front end, looks like there's a little scuff on the edge of that bumper. Maybe some extra paint. Let's see if I can get it off. Oh, that's some wax. It is starting to come off. Coming around the lower portion. That bumper looks pretty good. This has got some paint runs right here on the bottom. Let's keep coming around. Got a little scuff there in the corner. Coming down this lower side here, up over the fender. I'll stop if I see something. You do got a couple little specks right here on the side. Keep running down the lower portion. The chrome looks good. There's a couple chips in the middle of the door right there. Everything looks nice and smooth. Coming up over the rear fender, you got a chip right here in the middle. And back here. And on down some more. Little scuff right there. Let's go back to midsection. Light scratch on top, that will buff out. A little bit of pitting trying to come through on that door handle, but it's all right. Couple touch-up marks there. Scratch in the middle of the door. A little wax there left over. Got a spot right here as well. Couple little spots right there, small chips. On top of the fender here, you have a chip right there. Front windshield's in good shape. All the trim around the window and vent window looks good. The weather stripping on the vent window has some dry cracks in it. Little chip there. And there in the corner. Coming over the roof. You got a little leftover wax in different spots. That's a chip there and there. That's wax there. And that was wiped off just then. Check the back window. Trim looks pretty good, not bad. Leftover wax again. Who waxed this car before they sold it to us? Back bumper's in great shape. Dual exhaust out the back. Tail lights got a little bit of pitting on them. That's a magnet tag there. Light scratch around the reverse light. Jam's nice and clean. Like I said, there was a bit of moisture in here, and I just took it all out to dry it out because the sun's strong today, so it should dry out that mat. And I can put it back in here. Looking up in the package tray, you can actually see up in there. It looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any issues, but the water's probably coming in right there where that line is in the trim. That's usually what happens. Trunk looks pretty good otherwise, quarters. Come on down with us. There's a couple of, oh, that's more wax. I thought it was a chip. It's like a light scratch right there on the back. That'll buff out. Coming down this side, I'll try to keep my shadow out of the picture here. Got some light scratches on the back and down the lower portion, up over the fender. You got a chip there. There's a chip right there. A couple chips right here at the bottom of the door. Little light ones here. And then back to midsection, you've got one right here. Real small stuff. Just try to, you know, get it all on camera for you. That way there's no surprises. You know, there's lots of little chips on this one that have been touched up. And plus you just get a up close camera visual before you drive across the country or get it shipped across the country. I want to be 100% honest with you. So that way you may buy 2 or 3 cars from us. That happens all the time. I'm zooming in on these little specks. Actually, that's more wax. There's a lot of wax. There's some in that corner there. A little bubble right there in the corner. Back window looks pretty good. Light scratches on top there. It's a really clean car for the most part. Little chips here and there. Probably an older paint job, but she's still got a really good look. And if it was mine, I'd leave it alone. I wouldn't even paint it. Okay, I'm gonna open the door here. We're gonna check out the interior, get her started up. Go ahead and place your bets. Does this horn work? We've been on a streak this week, and it's been on the no side about 100%. So maybe this one will break that streak. Looking around in the back here, it's pretty good. Headliner, same way. Only thing I noticed about the back, it's got a little bit of fading back there from the sun. And there's the lights making it look a lot worse. The seat has a little rip right here in the corner, and the top looks a little bit loose. Door panel's in good shape. Weather stripping looks good as well. Carpet, that's a pretty clean carpet. Our door handle fell off. Wonder if the clip's there. Yeah, the clip's on there. Just gotta get it and re-clip it. The corner of this trim here is hanging a little bit. Seat belts are in here. That's my light for the test drive video. I thought this was pretty cool. Check out these old gauges down here, and they still work. Engine oil pressure. Just seems like a bit much, but those are good gauges. Usually it just says oil. They got a big statement on there, don't they? All right. Okay. Go ahead and try that horn. Y'all ready? I am so happy that worked. Temp is coming up. AC does work. Bit cold for today though. You can hear it pull down on the RPMs. Gas gauge, I found out it worked on the test drive. Go check that out. And it's showing 11,000 miles. But I can't stand behind that. This is a 65 model. Turn signal popping up on the gauges there. Radio, I couldn't get to work. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here. It usually can figure out a radio, but that one there just cuts on, nothing else comes out. So car sounds great. Motor's nice and quiet, it's running smooth, and the test drive's been great so far. But I do still want you to watch the video. That way you know everything here. The horns actually look new. Good deal. It needs an overflow jug, I noticed on there when we stopped, because Pat always tops off these radiators just completely full. Well, if you don't have an overflow jug, when it gets up to temp, it'll drip. I noticed that when I first got here, but it hasn't had any overheating issues. It's been running great. So the hood shuts good. A little wax left on it. I'll give you some undercarriage shots. I figured out on here the best way to do it is probably my test drive video where I drive over with a light. And you can get on maplemotors.com, and he crawls around under the car and takes pictures of every little spot and tries not to miss anything. So here we go. We're going to look under this one and check it out. I do appreciate y'all watching. Once again, maplemotors.com is my main website. You can see all of my inventory. There's even a section that questions and answers. That way you don't have to give us a call. You could just look at that and get most of all your questions answered. I have financing and shipping available. And of course, detailed pictures and test drives of every car at Maple Motors. I want to thank you for watching. Hit that share button, that helps us out a lot. Also hit like and subscribe if you haven't. That's the best chance to see these cars first. See you later, guys.